Guys, Russell Jackson has a great video on how to go from a Shocker XLS to a CVO with their CVO frame kit. I've had a lot of people ask how to go from our Adrenaline CVO to the XLS, since most of our ship in CVO format. So one of our customers, Mr. Wise, has requested his be delivered in XLS format. So I'm going to be changing number 36 to XLS before I ship it. What you'll need are 3 Allen keys from your parts kit. You'll need your ram solenoid that I'll be sending to you, these 2 clamps, and your electronic frame. When you get the electronic frame from us, it'll look just like this. It'll be semi-built. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is remove the 2 frame screws. When you do, just separate the CVO frame from the body. Set it aside. Later we'll need to get the ASA off of it. Then you want to remove 2 screws. This one, which is the same thread, and this one. Not this one, but the one that's just in front of it. Pull this off, set it aside. So this needs grease. It probably, since it just came off, should have grease, but mine has enough. But just again, make sure that that piece has plenty of grease. It's your bolt speed adjustment, I believe. All right, so we have the body. It's time to swap it back. So first thing we need to do is remove the eye covers. This is at least the process I use. I'm sure one of the techs may do it different, but this is my procedure. Then grab your XLS frame. It's going to look like this. I like to put the eyes in first and then route it back. So you want to remove the eye wire, which is the one with the red, white, black, or yellow, white, black, red, from the board. Once you have it loose, you should be able to pull up on it. Okay. One thing you won't find anywhere, at least I never saw anywhere on the internet, is how these go into the gun. I can tell you that the black, red go on the left side. You should be able to just route it up through there. Through this hole right here is where you're aiming. Comes out. Then there's 2 posts. This has a little U-looking thing on it. The left eye does. Put it on 2 posts. And once on there, just kind of push down on it. And that should hold it into place. The yellow and white go on the left side. Again, there's these 2 posts that should line up perfect. It helps keep them in place and getting them in the right spot so they see each other. You'll know when they're in. The post will be beyond the board just slightly. And then you can return the eye covers. There's little tiny O-rings on these. Sometimes they'll give you a problem. You don't actually have to remove the screw completely. With these handles, sometimes they go so fast they just pop off. So first that didn't seat very well, and I moved it around. Now it's smooth. If it's not seating, you've got something wrong. This one, the O-ring is actually still on the eye cover. It's not missing. Sometimes it'll stay in a little hole. Actually, I'm gonna pull that O-ring off. There it is. Give it a head start. All right. So now that we have that on, the part that nobody likes is routing of the vision eye wiring. I'm sure this is the wrong way, but this is how I do it. So it goes down the right side. If you're looking down at it, usually it's going to be the side closest to you. You can see these 3 little bars sticking out of it. Those hold the wiring down in place. It also tucks just behind this last one and then comes up. So you want it to look like that. Get these out of the way and put the front screw in, which is the little one. This one here. I moved the bar over so that it covers the wires. See how the black one's up? You want to tuck it under. Okay. Now, these climb up the front. You can hold them in place by taking the large hook end of these. You'll get 2 of them in your kit. Hook them one near the bottom and just pulling it till it goes around. And then another one a little bit farther up. Okay, that's how I do it. I'm sure they designed this so that the wire goes in through this or something. I don't normally use that, but Russell's more welcome to correct me on this and say use it, but I normally don't. So if you look at this, you can see that all the wires are pretty much invisible. That's what you want. If you see a bunch of wires sticking out, then you may be pinching one. And you can also see how they're behind the 3 clamps. Then they come up the front and they're held in place here. And then you have these 2 wires that are sticking out. All right. So then grab your electronic board, and the goal is to route these down into the board opening. You don't have to put it on first. I kind of like, it's a little puzzle, so I'll get it in there first. Okay, put the frame screws back. You can find it, but sometimes it gets stuck in a single mech frame. This one is Adrenaline Special Edition Team Edition 4. Normally that one's reserved for co-founder of Adrenaline, Chad Fuller, but he has his own signature series, so that's why there's a 4 shipping. All right, feels good on the trigger and everything else. So now we have left to plug these two up, put the battery in, and then put the frame on. The battery and the, or I'm sorry, the grip cover. That part I'm sure you can figure out, but I will. Obviously these go, look at the holes, you can tell which side's closer. They're kind of one side that's not in the middle, so the side that has the holes closest to you goes down. I actually like doing it this way, backwards. And then same thing for these. They're only designed to go one way. Okay. You want to get these out of the way. So we have a lot of slack in here. I do it that way. I'm sure they are capable of doing it without the slack. I just put a little extra right there and it'll clear. Then you put the battery on and you put your grip cover back on. And then he will want the low rise on, I'm sure. So I've done this once before, but we'll just do it real quick. It's not this one. Yes, I'm still using a 10-inch painter's knife. I will have to get something better, but haven't had time. His low rise. It's here. You got to have this out to where it'll clear everything, so it just has to barely be in. Because it's just barely, it can slip off, but that's better than it getting it too far and then you'll never get it out. Or you risk it hitting the gun. If it's sticking out the bottom of this, then it can hit the gun. It's not my gun, so I'm going to be extra careful. Okay. Line this sucker up. It's hard to get these to reach if you don't kind of put it in all the way. So I'll bury the O-ring. I put it in all the way just so you can have some threads to grab a hold of with the locking arm. This thing's turned a little bit. I can do that after the fact, but so this isn't something that's easy to do on the field in a moment's notice. I'm sure the techs can do it very quickly. Takes me a little longer. Once you do this, before you go out to the field, you want to test your vision eyes, make sure they work. I'll be testing his gun fully, so I'm not going to mess with that now. But on Russell's video on how to go to the CVO, there's a big long description on how to do it. This goes in with this piece forward. And obviously, like I said before, the more threads you have, the more likelihood you are of getting this to go on. All right, so that's that. I have to put a battery on, and then the grip cover, wherever that is. I'm not going to show that. You'll figure that part out. So that's how you switch from CVO to XLS. If you have any questions, just hit us up. And Wayne, we'll get your gun out the door ASAP.